Hi everyone, my name is Adam. I am a real estate agent living in Houston, Texas. If you want to fast forward straight to the first tip, you can fast forward to this time. For everyone else, welcome. This is my new YouTube channel. Super excited. I've wanted to do this for a while. So I've been a YouTuber. I have been a real estate agent for about like a year and a half. I'm in my second year now. I had a really the sun is changing. Okay, so I have to film this today, but the sunlight keeps changing. It was just raining. I had a pretty successful first year in real estate, if I say so myself. I sold several homes and I learned a lot. So I'm really excited to kind of share the knowledge. Every single tip on this list is important and you need to do it. I know it's gonna sound like a lot, but that's the job, baby. You have to do it. I mean, and a lot of these tips are going to be whole separate videos because there's a lot to each one of these things I'm going to say, but this is more of just a general overview of the things you need to focus on in order to succeed in your first year of real estate. So, I'm not going to keep talking, I could ramble for days, so let's just get started. Okay, so my first tip, this is the only tip on the list that is more geared towards someone who has not actually started the job yet. They're about to get their license, or maybe they just got their license. And this tip is to join a team. So I started off on a team. My first 9 months of the job I was working on a really big team, and it wasn't big in people, but we were selling a lot of homes. Going through so many transactions, you're gonna learn a lot very quickly. You know, learn what you can, and then if you decide that you want to work for yourself, like what I did, you can leave the team, and then you have a lot of knowledge and you have some experience. All right, my next tip is mindset. Mindset. I'm serious. Mindset is so important as a real estate agent, especially in your first year, because who are you? You know what I mean? It's hard to convince yourself that you are capable of selling someone's home for them and building a business. You have to have the mindset of a warrior going to battle with no weapons, one leg, and an eye patch. Because it is grueling being a real estate agent. You're gonna get told no hundreds of times a day, thousands of times a week. I just finished my cold calling for the day, and I made 700 calls, so I got 700 no's. But this week I already set an appointment, and that one appointment can turn into a $15,000 paycheck. So really you only need one yes per month, really, if you just want to survive. But if you want to thrive, you're gonna set more, and I'll teach you how. You're gonna get told no all the time. You're gonna have to throw fear out the window. You're gonna get rejected. You can't have any sort of arrogance. You have to be super humble and know that you're gonna fail a million times. With every no, you're closer to your next yes. But no, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say that it's an easy job. I'm serious about this tip. It's not just mindset, like, It's really true. You're gonna have to be a fighter, and you're gonna have to refuse to fail. You have to keep your mindset positive. A good way to do this is by using affirmations. I tell myself I'm a millionaire real estate agent, like so many times a day. I say it all the time. I have a whole book here of affirmations that I've filled up that I do while I make my cold calls. I can do anything I set my mind to. My endurance gets stronger every day in every way. People want to hire me. You just have to repeat those things over and over, and have your spirit and your face and your vibe as it's already happened and it's there. And I'm a millionaire real estate agent, and get excited. You're a millionaire real estate agent. You know what I mean? Because you have to think that way, even if it's not true. You fake it till you make it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So just believe me, it all comes down to having a mindset of relentlessness and confidence. And yeah, you really can't skip this step. You're not gonna make it. Real estate has the highest rate of failure of, well, I don't wanna say any other job, but it has like a really high failure rate. Something like 85% of agents quit within the first couple of years. And I get it, I get why. So that's kind of why I'm making this video and this channel. I want to really simplify things and make them easy to understand and encourage people to be their boss self. So anyways, we'll move on to the next tip now. Okay, so my next tip, I'm telling you, if you don't do this, you're gonna fail. I mean, you could maybe find a way around it. I don't know how you could, but the thing is that to be successful in your first year of real estate, you have to live by your calendar. You have to live by your calendar. Get a Gmail account if you don't already have one, and create a calendar for yourself and create habits for yourself that you're gonna do every single day no matter what. Because when you work for yourself, you don't even have to get out of bed in the morning. No one would know. You're not accountable to anyone, so you have to be accountable to your calendar. The richest man in the world and the poorest man in the world both have the same amount of hours in the day. So if they can do it, you can do it. To be a successful real estate agent, you have to net the most amount of money out of every hour that you work. So there's only so many hours in the day, and it's so easy to get pulled in so many different directions. And when you put your calendar together at the beginning of the week and you set each day and what you're going to do on each day and you follow it, that you're going to succeed because you've done the research on what you need to do, which I'm going to explain. That's coming. But I just want to say first that you need to live by your calendar. I mean, I don't even have to think. Everything that I do in my business is a complete routine. I don't make excuses. It's on the calendar. The calendar is my boss. If it's on the calendar, I have to do it. In fact, film video right there on my watch. I'm on time. I'm following my schedule. Okay, so my next tip is the most important tip on the list. There's nothing more important. If you talk to any real estate agent who is selling a lot of houses, they will tell you the same answer because it's the truth. And if I had understood this to the extent that I understand it now, I would have done double what I did in my first year, because this is the most important thing about being a real estate agent, and that is, it's actually 3 points in one, but you can't have one without the other, and that is lead generate, follow up, and scripts. Those are the 3 most important things, and they always will be, and it never will change, because the thing is that what is your business if you are not lead generating? The whole point of being a real estate agent, well, at least for me, my goal of being a real estate agent is to grow a huge company, a huge business, and have a bunch of people working for me, selling hundreds of houses a year. And you can't do that if you're just hoping that, your friend's gonna tell your friend that you're an agent and they might call you. You have to, all day, for 4 hours a day, every single day, no matter what, during the week and even the weekends, I am lead generating. I am finding new business. I'm hitting the streets. I'm knocking on doors. I'm cold calling. I'm doing open houses. I'm always looking for new business. And something I want to really stress about this is that these are all one tip for a reason. Lead generate, follow up, and scripts. They're not separate things. They're all one thing because you literally can't do one without the other. It's a waste of time. Don't make 4 hours of phone calls, and if someone says, hey, call me back in a month, and then you're like, oh, let me scratch that on this piece of paper over here, or I'll try to remember. Like, no, you have to think big. Think big. Think that everything I do, I document, and I make sure that it's a system so that when I hire someone to take over for me, they can jump right in and do it because it's a system. This is the only reason why I sold as many homes as I did in my first year. People say, oh, I don't have time to make 4 hours of phone calls every day, or I don't have time to do 2 open houses every weekend. Well, what else are you doing? You have to lead generate. That's the only thing. Every single agent that does well says this, that it's true. You have to be hitting the streets, finding business. You got to pick something. So I do most of my business through expired listings. I also do a lot of open houses. And so when it comes to follow-up, you have to have your systems really tight. I mean, you have to use whatever database. Maybe your brokerage gives you a database. I use Mojo, that's my database, and you have reminders set. And the scripts are so important. I'm telling you, find an agent. There's so many out there. Find their scripts and don't change a single word and do it exactly the way they say it. And don't Frankenstein together a custom script from a bunch of different people. Because that's not going to work. Find one person who has built their whole business on whatever form of lead generation you are deciding to focus on. Learn their scripts and use them and don't change them. Just like Gary Keller says, you have no reason to think that you know better when you start off in this business. Who are you to say that script's not going to work? Do them. I know they don't sound natural. Make them sound natural. Practice saying them over and over. Record yourself on your phone and listen to it. You have to learn to sound like you know what you're talking about. A great way to do this is by getting a script partner. So basically if you join any sort of real estate agent Facebook group and just type out a message that says, hey, I'm looking for a script partner, or go to your office and find someone there who might want to practice with you, and you just want to spend 10-20 minutes a day ping-ponging back and forth practicing. So basically you're pretending to be the real estate agent and the script partner is pretending to be the person you're cold calling or on a listing appointment with or doing a buyer's presentation with. Whatever it is that you're doing, you don't just jump into anything and figure it out. You need to know your scripts. Scripts are so important. These 3, like I said, if you're only going to take one thing away from this entire video, it's lead generation, lead follow-up, and scripts. If you do that, everything will fall into place because you'll have business coming in because you've been working at it. I was lead generating every single day, every single weekday in my first year of real estate, and I sold a lot of homes, and I was lead generating poorly. I had just learned how to do it. I didn't really know how to do it in a very efficient way. And I still sold a lot of homes because of it. Just do it. And if you need help, call me. I'm gonna put my phone number in the description box. Call me. I'm happy to talk to anyone. What else do I have here? Oh yeah, door knocking. Door knocking is a great one to start off with right away, actually. I did that pretty soon, and that toughens your skin up real fast. When someone slams a door in your face, your skin gets pretty thick pretty fast. So, I mean, at this point, someone could literally throw a pie in my face, and I would just wipe it off and go to the next house and be like, hi, sorry, I'm a mess. Okay, so my next tip is going to be educate. So you have to be constantly learning as a real estate agent. You never have an excuse to not be learning something. I read a book a month. I listen to it on Audible. It's really helpful. I can do it while I'm driving. Sometimes I read more than one book a month, and I reread books. Keller Williams is amazing. And the reason why I love Keller Williams is because if you're not finding success as a real estate agent, that is because it's your fault. It's because you're not doing what Keller Williams is telling you to do. I'm telling you, if you take the classes at Keller Williams and you learn and you read the books they tell you to read, and that brings me to the two best books, and if you're a Keller Williams agent and I know you've read these, well, it's actually not true. I can't tell you how many agents I've met who have not read these books. I'm like, what? I don't understand how you can be a real estate agent and not have read this book. This is Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. This is literally the real estate Bible. I'm telling you, I've read this so many times. Don't even think about real estate until you've read this twice, because this tells you everything. You don't even have to watch this video anymore, actually. You can just leave now, because this is everything you need right here. It really is. Actually, I recommend, these are the two books that I always recommend, well, Keller Williams always recommends, and so do I, is The One Thing and The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And I actually would recommend reading this one first. This gives you a very good idea of how to think and how to operate and kind of live by your calendar, like what my first tip was. It is so powerful, and it has totally changed not only my real estate life, but my personal life. It is just an incredibly powerful book, and it teaches you so many, especially if you're someone like me who's super ADD and super high energy and just all over the place. This book really is amazing. And so is Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And if you haven't read those and you're a real estate agent, what are you doing? Putting in your calendar education time. That's what I do. So I usually have I go to one training event a week, whether it's a class or seminar or something like that. Just like The One Thing says, don't just go around and choose a bunch of random stuff to start learning and then jump from subject to subject. Pick one subject and master it. And you know what you should master? Lead generation, follow-up, and scripts. I know I did a program called Bold, which is a program that Keller Williams does. And a lot of people say not to do it in your first year of real estate because it's too intense. I don't think that's true. I think that people need to calm down, because I mean, it is intense, but maybe if you weren't doing real estate full-time, but if you're a full-time real estate agent, there's no excuse to not do Bold. It's kind of expensive, but I mean, it is worth it. I think it's something like $800, but it's 8 weeks and you learn so much. They give you a ton of scripts. And if you can make it through Bold, you can make it as a real estate agent, because they push you. Just do it. You know what I mean? You have to jump out of the nest as a real estate agent. And this is going back to mindset, but you cannot be afraid. I always make sure that you're educating, and a great way to do that is by reading books and going to classes. Read these. The next tip is to think long term. Another mistake that I made, I remember I was on a team, and the woman I worked for would always tell me, Adam, calm down. Like you're being too impatient. You have to be patient. You can't jump in as a real estate agent and expect to start selling 1 million homes in your first like 2-3 weeks. That's how I was like. When I pick at something, I am obsessed with it and I am so focused on it and I want results. And it's still something that's hard for me, because everything that you do in this job is 40 to 60 days out. Your calls, when you make cold calls, a lot of the times when I set an appointment, when I'm cold calling, it's with someone that I've been following up with for weeks. So you have to really imagine that you're planting seeds and then watering them, and then when they're ready, you pull them out. And those are clients. And that's what I'm doing, and it's working. You have to be patient. You have to be five feet away from gold. I don't know what it says in that one book I read one time. These people were like digging for gold. They like kept digging. They were so far down in the earth, and then they gave up and they sold a lot of land. And then the people that bought it like took the shovel and like knocked it into the ground, and there was gold. Like they quit right before the gold. Like, don't quit right before you hit gold. It will happen. Be prepared for things to feel like it's taking forever, because it does take a long time. I know I'm in my second year. I was blessed to really be trained really well. I took it really seriously. It's my full-time job, and I listened to what everyone was telling me. That's the main thing. I was not arrogant, thinking I knew better, or that, oh, that doesn't work. How do you know it works? Because that's the way I kind of am. I'm a challenger, so I just want to like challenge everything. But you have no reason to know better. Just trust the agents around you. Trust me. I mean, I'm not going to tell you anything that's not something that I've done, that I've seen results, and it works. My second to last tip is expand your network. So this is similar to lead generation, but this is more along the lines of making professional friends or colleagues, people that you can call when you need help. And that was the first thing I did when I became an independent agent and I left the team. I met some really, really great people, great agents, and they really have been so helpful. And still, I'm meeting with another agent tomorrow because I need help with something, because there's a lot. You know what I mean? And you're gonna need to have some people who you can call and ask for help. And being a real estate agent, the people that are more successful than you, they're down to help you. They know what it's like to be a new agent. A lot of the times they had someone who helped them out, so they want to pass that down. And that's kind of what I'm doing with this channel, and something that I do with people around me. And when I start hiring people, I want to do that. And it's just a super important part of the job, is to look out for other agents and be there to answer questions. So spend a lot of time at your office. Don't be afraid to walk up to the biggest agent at your office and be like, hi, I need help. Okay, so the last tip is document your systems. This is another thing that's super important. When you're in your first year, you're just trying to keep your head above water because so much is going on. Things are on fire everywhere, metaphorically speaking, and you're just trying to not get sued. There's a lot of money on the table, there's a lot of emotion on the table. It's a very intense job. But the thing is that you don't want to make the same mistake twice. It's always okay to make mistakes, but you don't want to make the same mistake twice. And the way that you avoid that is anytime you do anything, you do it the exact same way every single time. And you don't just guess, you find someone and do it the way they did it and don't change it and do it the same way every time. This has to be true throughout your whole business with every single thing that you do. When you're going through your first transaction, you need to write a whole entire book when you're doing your first transaction. You better be writing down every single thing that you're doing. I'm on my way to the house right now to measure all the rooms. Okay, now I'm putting all the data into the MLS. To do that, click home, enter, whatever. You know what I mean? You want to document everything, because then next time you don't have to relearn it. It's gonna feel ridiculous documenting everything you do, but you're gonna be thankful, especially when your business blows up and you need to start hiring people and training people, and then you're like, well, it's all in my head, I don't know how to explain it. No, that's why you think with the end in mind. I am building a business, and when I start hiring people, my systems are documented. I'm gonna send them a link to the folders that they need, they're gonna read all the stuff, and they're gonna know what to do, and then I'll just make sure they're doing it right. Anyways, I could talk all day, and that's why I'm starting this channel. I hope you found it helpful. Please let me know what you want to see from me in the comments below. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. I kind of don't want to stop talking. I will see you in my next video, and it will be on my calendar, just like this one was. Okay, bye.